The first time I saw her, I felt something strange, something electric, something that made my chest tighten in a way I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't real lightning, of course, just the glow of a screen late at night in my small apartment in Ohio. But the effect was the same, her smile, warm and effortless, her eyes soft like she carried stories she had never told, and her message, simple yet disarming, "Hey, you seem cool. Want to chat?" I didn't know it then, but that single notification would begin the most confusing, painful, and strangely transformative chapter of my life. Before I knew it, I was falling for someone I had never met, someone who didn't even exist. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and learning from the unexpected, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to life. Her name was Emily, at least that's what her profile said. A 24-year-old nursing student from North Carolina, a girl who loved dogs, sunsets, and reading old books in quiet cafes. Everything about her felt familiar, as if she were the version of love I'd always imagined but never found in real life. We messaged on Instagram first, then Snapchat, and soon our days became stitched together with long, late-night talks and random check-ins. I began waking up early just to see if she had replied. I smiled at my phone like an idiot in grocery store lines. I reread her messages when work got stressful. It felt easy in a way dating had never been for me. No awkward silences, no trying to impress, just connection, pure, unfiltered connection. And maybe that should have been my first warning. But back then I didn't question anything. I was tired of feeling alone, tired of failed dates, tired of life feeling like a loop of work, eat, sleep, repeat. So when Emily asked about my favorite childhood memory, or when she sent a picture of her morning coffee with a heart scribbled on the cup, I let myself believe she cared. Not because she gave me proof, but because I wanted her to. I had been lonely for so long that even a fake light looked real in the darkness. Months passed. We grew closer. She told me she thought I was different, gentle, patient, understanding. She said I made her feel safe. And those words, those simple words, broke something loose inside me. No one had ever said that to me before. Not in such a sincere way. I didn't know that sincerity was just another mask. Still, things were off. Whenever I asked for a quick video call, she said she wasn't camera ready. When I suggested visiting her in North Carolina, she said she was too busy with exams. When I asked for just a short voice note, she would type back an excuse about being in class, being tired, or having a sore throat. Yet her stories showed her laughing with friends, looking perfectly fine. Sometimes her pictures looked almost too perfect, like the lighting was always flawless, the backgrounds always aesthetically consistent. I ignored it all. Because when your heart wants something badly enough, your brain becomes excellent at building walls around the truth. Then came the night everything changed. It was a warm Sunday evening. I had worked a long shift at the hardware store, and all I wanted was to hear from her. But my messages went unread. Hours passed. Midnight rolled into 2 in the morning. Nothing. I tried telling myself she was busy, asleep, maybe studying, but my stomach twisted with dread. Something felt wrong, too wrong to ignore anymore. In a moment of restless impulse, I reverse-searched one of her selfies, and my heart sank so fast I felt physically sick. The photo wasn't hers. It belonged to a small-time fashion influencer from Arizona with thousands of followers and dozens of similar photos. The account had no connection to Emily whatsoever. I clicked again and again. Every picture she had sent me, every smile, every pose, every soft-lit moment was stolen. My chest went cold, my hands trembled. I wanted it to be a mistake, but there was no mistake left to cling to. Emily wasn't real, or worse, she was real, just not who she pretended to be. I didn't sleep. The next morning she finally replied with her usual cheerful good morning, as if nothing had happened. But something inside me had cracked wide open. I didn't confront her right away. I just asked if she could send a picture with today's date written on paper. A simple request. She left me unread. A few hours later, she blocked me on everything. No explanation, no apology, no confession, just disappearance. A digital ghost. It felt like someone punched a hole straight through my chest, and the air rushed out too fast to breathe. I didn't feel anger at first, just hurt. A deep, humiliating, pulsing hurt. I had opened every fragile part of myself to someone who never existed. I trusted her with things I hadn't told anyone in years. And in return, I was given fiction, carefully curated lies. For weeks, I withdrew from everyone. I went to work mechanically, answered people with short nods, avoided eye contact. At night, I'd reread old messages like an idiot, searching for clues I had missed. My friends told me to move on, to delete everything, but grief doesn't have a delete button, especially not when the person you're grieving is someone you created in your own heart. But here's the thing about heartbreak. It either hardens you or it teaches you. For a while, I let it harden me. I told myself not to trust easily, not to open up, not to be that stupid again. And I thought that was strength, but in reality, it was fear wearing the mask of strength. Then something unexpected happened. About 2 months after being blocked, I got a long message from a random account on Instagram. The profile had no picture, no posts, just a single sentence in my inbox: "I owe you the truth." The message that followed was a confession. The person behind Emily was not a young nursing student. She was a 47-year-old woman from a small town outside Charlotte. She'd used fake photos, fake details, fake everything, except, she claimed, her emotions. She told me she was lonely, going through a rough divorce, feeling invisible in her real life. She said my kindness made her feel human again. She apologized, deeply, clumsily, painfully. She said she blocked me because she panicked after I confronted her indirectly. She told me she knew what she did was wrong, selfish, and cruel, but she had never meant to hurt me. She said she just loved who I was, and she wished she had met me in a different life, as her real self. My first instinct was rage. I wanted to scream at her through the screen. I wanted to ask her why she played with my heart like it was a toy. But instead, I surprised myself. I forgave her, not because she deserved it, not because the hurt magically disappeared, but because I realized holding on to that pain was just hurting me more. Forgiveness didn't erase the betrayal, but it released me from it. We didn't stay friends. We didn't stay in touch. I didn't want a relationship with a lie, and she needed to rebuild her life honestly. But that final message gave something I desperately needed: closure. And closure gave me back the space to heal. Slowly, I began rebuilding myself. I joined a local book club, reconnected with old friends, started therapy to work through my trust issues. I even began dating again, cautiously but genuinely. And somewhere along the way, I realized something important. Emily was never real, but the person I became after her, the stronger, wiser, more emotionally aware version of myself, he was real. Sometimes, the people who break us aren't meant to stay. They're meant to show us the cracks we didn't know were there, so we can fill them with something stronger. And that, unexpectedly, became the quiet gift hidden beneath the hurt. If this story touched your heart, or reminded you of the resilience we all carry inside, please like, comment, and share. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more powerful life stories that remind us of what it means to be human. Before I end this story, I have one special request. Comment below. Have you ever trusted someone online who turned out different from what you expected? Thanks for watching, for feeling this story with me, and for being part of a community that believes in healing, growth, and second chances.